That's a little bit better. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Here we go. Yep. All right, here we go. What's up? Happy 2017. The Flash is back. My name is Akasan.
Hey, Super Cruise, DCsan. Welcome to 2017. Good to see you.
And we're back.
Yeah.
And so is the Flash. Good,
Yeah,
long time no see,
It
Dante.
is long time, man.
It has been.
Well, on a technicality, you
Right.
did come and help me out
True.
with the live stream, but before that,
True.
it's been, what, a couple weeks?
It has been a couple of weeks. I mean, we've seen each other back a little
back
bit,
and
I
forth.
think, but never
spotty, but
like
best.
not really like recording and things like that.
No, everything was on break, including us.
Very true, very true indeed. In fact, the studio itself has even changed just a little bit. Here we got, well, you guys kind of know a lot of this stuff. The lights, a camera over there.
Yep.
Some random white guy sleeping on my bed and such. I got a shield. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. The Red Dreaded Studios are always changing, but the one thing that will always stay is the Flash. As far as
Yeah.
until they pull a third season, fourth season arrow in, you know that's it.
Ouch.
His face. But regarding that, on top of that, I will occasionally be doing arrow reactions every once in a while.
Yay!
Not a lot.
And
not a
I
lot.
can give my random Diggle!
Until Dante starts learning how to edit TV shows. Don't expect them every week. Only when I have time. But
Yeah, because it helps take some of the editing load.
the burden of. Well, let's talk about the Flash. Actually, before that, you had a birthday on top of that, didn't you?
Yes, the 17th had a birthday, and it was nice. As a matter of fact, got a birthday watch I'm happy about, and the color matches the shirt and the ring, so...
Well, here, have one more present from me to you.
First, thanks, brother.
No problem, man. Happy birthday.
I wonder...
The real question is, does he have it already? That's
For those that can't see, yes, that is a Man of Steel's Man t-shirt. Thank you.
I didn't know it was from BVS when I ordered it, but it's okay.
I think that's more of just rebranding.
Yeah, it probably is.
Either way, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Looks good. Looks good like that one on your wall.
Oh, yeah. I actually like this one. This one is damn.
This one's sweet.
This is...
I like this because it actually looks like the armor plates.
And Batman Begins.
Yeah.
Or Batman Beyond.
Beyond.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it.
That's sweet.
I'll save it for tomorrow
Nice.
when the Trinity is reformed.
Should I open this now
Yes,
or later?
you probably should. Let's take a look at what this one's all about.
Before I completely open.
Dun, dun,
Ribbon.
dun, dun. Do. What is that from?
I don't know, but for some reason it made me think of the Bionic 6.
Dun, 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 dun. It's from an 80s show, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
I was watching 80s compilation intro. Ooh! What?
Yes. I figured for a
That
man who
is
has everything.
nice.
This is actually a comic notebook. A comic notebook. So it's done in the form.
Dude.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's done.
And because I have an app on my phone that's actually just like this.
Oh, really? So it's done in a way like of a notebook, but you can add your own speech bubbles and all that stuff. So I thought it's kind of cool for people that like to do paneling and layouts and things like that.
Thanks,
so,
man.
no problem, man.
Thoughtful and useful.
All right. So,
Thank you.
without further ado, it is my honor to finally get into the second half of Season 3 of The Flash 2017. You ready? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now. Okay.
Hey, I got a question. For the CW shows,
Yeah.
are you happy that they all got renewed?
Yeah, I'm fine with it, I guess. I don't really watch it, but for those that are fans. Alright, here we go.
My name is Barry Allen, and I am the fastest man alive.
Depending on the
In
time.
outside world, I'm an ordinary.
Every single time.
Of my friends at Star Labs, I fight crime
He's the
and find
fastest.
other metahumans. Things change with our future.
Barry!
What you saw was one possibility of the future. Can I stop this from home?
I wish my studio looked like this.
Right? I'm with Barry.
Oh my god.
Barry.
We don't need to see this. Yeah.
Hey, CW, don't kill Iris. Please.
I'm not completely wide awake after hearing you scream in your sleep.
You need to get Barry some protein.
You want to talk about it? This is the third night in a row.
I know something else that's happened 3 nights in a row.
Ha! Jungle Fever.
He helped write this episode.
Oh, that's
Nice.
right! Wally!
No.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Flashlight.
Flashlights.
Flashed.
I gotta go to breakfast with Dad.
Yeah, it does look good.
Yo, that's
Like
where.
it
But it does look like the reverse flash.
My suit goes there.
Right?
Ah, 2 suits, 1 mannequin. That is what we call a conundrum. No.
Sumptuous day, brethren.
Oh boy.
Good morning, HR.
Oh, not just good. It's great. The new Star Labs Museum is ready for its opening, soft opening. So come, let's take the tour.
This could have been avoided. You know that, right?
What cartoon is he out of? I'll never know.
I think the yellow guy is going to surprise you. Once he gains a little bit of experience, he's going to give a flash around for his money.
You know what I think? I think maybe he's just not that fast. Or maybe he's just...
Great question. Olga, allow me to introduce you to your new co-workers. Everybody, this is Olga.
Hi.
Now for the pièce de résistance.
Welcome to Star Labs.
Are we sure we're in the right
Hologram
flash?
and join Star Labs before our beautiful and handsome founder Harrison Wells stepped down. I hope my love of science will inspire
Science!
to join the scientific community. Wow.
Okay.
Can I open my eyes yet?
Imagine if women
Just 1
did that.
second. Just.
Not touching it.
Yeah. Dead? No. Dead shot?
Different.
Nah. Looks like the love child of Deadshot and
See, I'm living with
Deathstroke.
someone now.
Why does he look like he significantly lost weight?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, he
between the
does.
last couple episodes.
Because he was running around during break.
I know, I was...
He was fasting.
Yeah, you're a world-class jerk.
Oh, no. The future is fixed, and you can't change it no matter how hard you try.
Which do you believe?
Where do you come down?
Yeah.
Changing future.
Well, I think that a man often meets his destiny on the very road he takes to avoid it.
Meaning.
Meaning,
It happens.
the future is fixed.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
I miss the old Wells, but it is what it is. I like that outfit, actually.
Yeah, that
Very
you can
simple.
get for $40.
Bring that chopper back.
I'm serious. Interesting.
Magic bullets.
Shake these things, Cisco.
Nice.
Clean.
Barry, what are you waiting for?
After he was caught by the Flash,
Oh! It's the future. Got it.
Why? Why not? I'm sorry. One robber goes free. It's that versus your life. Joe would want me to make the exact same choice,
Right.
Iris.
No, because she's trying to tell him that he's being selfish again.
Iris.
She understands.
How long?
but it's for a selfish reason. Something with his mom.
How long until it happens?
This is not gonna happen. Hey, look at me. This is not gonna happen. I swear, on both my parents' lives, I will protect you.
Well,
So
you know,
did he
burying
learn
his
nothing?
promises.
Yeah, and did he not learn anything? Then why did you go in and tell her instead of just preparing?
Maybe he couldn't figure it out anymore.
So telling her
nothing-
helped him figure
I
it
don't
out?
know, maybe. Or,
Hey,
I don't
guys,
know. He was just...
Iris and I,
You're right. He's gonna get the whole team ready.
we have something we need to tell you.
Now, I agree with this decision.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
So you're saying that 4 months from now, Savitar will kill me?
Luigi's opens after murder. Joe arrest honored at City Hall.
Good for you, Joe.
Killer.
Frost.
What does it say?
Killer Frost. At large.
Killer Frost still at large.
Ah!
Star Labs Museum closes. City's still recovering following guerrilla attack.
Oh!
HR's here.
Me? Are you sure?
Yeah, you weren't here before.
Sorry.
Just get us out of here.
Blunder, my man, where do you think you're going?
Right through you.
Brought to you in part by Xbox. I really like the way the yellow, the lightning. Oh shit!
Iris needs a hero right now, Molly.
Yeah, no pressure.
Wow!
Nice.
Where is this tech coming from? This is awesome.
That's my question.
Yeah. Wally doesn't vibrate his head. He should.
You can recognize it.
Today's top story, Jared Marullo, a.k.a.
Why? Because
Blunder.
black people all look the same. You know, the irony is I just went to a museum like last week.
Okay, the quiche is in the oven, the beer
Hey,
and
oh, hell.
the candles
Oh, my
are
God.
on the table.
I know where I want to go
Oh my
next.
God. Babe, you've never been sexier.
I know.
I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, Iris. How you doing?
She's
If you're not fine, you can talk to me. You know that, right?
She's doing fantastic. You know what? You're right. We should have Iris on every CW show.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, I got you guys a plan. That's like a standard housewarming.
Thanks.
No, on Iris, we get reptiles.
Whoa.
Present to you, McSnoodle. I don't know if I have ever met two people who are more suited to one another than you two. Tiberian Iris.
Barry and Iris.
To bury an
Very
iris.
nice.
Thanks.
Do you think he's gonna say anything in front of Joe?
my thing is, what if he caught on fire right now? Just the way he is, I'd be like, oh shit. Alright, don't tell me Savitar's about to show up right now.
Another
All
bear.
Terminator 2 style and shit.
Wait, who's up?
Golden Glitter?
He's been playing them.
Nah,
She's after him. That's
right.
his ex-girlfriend.
I figure she's just some sort of time hunter. Alright. So there you have it. That was the latest episode of The Flash, returning from its mid-season break here, and it felt like an all-new world.
Yeah,
it was weird.
weird.
Really weird. It felt like an actual real season premiere, like the beginning of a season premiere. Like, I don't know, it was just... It took a lot of adjusting for some reason. Like,
I think part of the adjusting, at least for me, was the break. We had such a long break, and getting back into the world of the Flash you know, it took a little time to adjust, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right, that was there before, or what? How did that get there? Oh, that's right, different timeline, things like that.
Right.
But I kind of like that it had the feel of a season premiere, because it gave me something to kind of look forward to. Because some mid-season premieres are kind of flat.
I think the big difference was right, but the big difference was that previously with every season finale of The Flash, it was like this really huge reveal or something that would make you want to get really super excited, and you couldn't wait. With the season finale or mid-season finale last time, just really left on a happy ending. The one thing that made people kind of intrigued was the whole 3-part thing. One shall betray you, one shall fall, and one will face a consequence a fate worse than death. Yeah. They didn't even touch upon that. So it was kind of just like, it was this weird readjustment sort of period, like you were saying. It was just kind of like, okay, it's good, but not much is going on. But and then I suppose the other big one was the fact that Wally, even though he has had his powers, this was the first time really seeing him full-fledged in the costume.
And using them.
Right.
That wasn't a different timeline. So,
right.
Yeah.
So that kind of was hard for me to also adjust to, because I think we've talked about this before with The Flash. Like, for me, the show, the name of the show is Flash, and for me, The Flash will always equal, at this moment in time, Barry Allen, at least with the CW show. And we talked about this before, when they start adding more speedsters, or when they, like, for example, when Arrow started adding Arsenal, and it became 2, and then now they Artemis, I think, uses you had the all these copycats. It's fine when they're
Archer,
villains,
Artemis,
right?
Cupid, and
Huntress, right?
What I missed?
Wait,
and Arsenal. Yeah. Oh wait, I said Arsenal.
Okay, so it's fine when they're the bad guys, because then it's kind of like
gives them something to go up against,
right?
And it kind of
evil twin type idea
to throw things off.
When it's a female or a counterpart, like another sex counterpart, then it kind of gives a different opinion. Like, okay, this is how a woman would do it, or this is how a man would do it, so to speak. But when it's kind of like the sidekick or twin, I think it's harder, because they're basically sharing the spotlight, and sometimes Wally's inclusion did exactly that. Like, I don't feel like Wally is doing anything different than Barry is, and so in a sense he's not really adding anything different to Barry. And what kind of, unfortunately at this moment in time, what's throwing it off for me is the fact that Wally, he's just, the only thing he's faster at is jumping into things without thinking, or being a little more playing up for the camera, things like that. But it doesn't really appeal to me so much in the show. I'm like, okay, well, don't sidetrack Barry, especially when they were focusing so much on the internal stress that Barry was going through trying to protect Iris. So I don't know. So at this point, I don't know. And you know, this is a common problem that's big for all TV shows. It's like, how do you avoid things getting boring
or too heavy and
redundant? Or
I'm one of my questions is 4 months from now on Flash time,
which might be the same time as the premiere, as the actual season finale. I was thinking
about that.
May 23rd. I'm like, that is literally 4 months from now. Like that.
And I'm just like, okay, I'm okay with that, but my question is, where's Wally?
Oh. That's
so all this is going, we have Wally there now, right?
Right.
You got Vibe there now also. Okay, let's say Ramon's not out in the field. That's fine. Barry isn't the only speedster that's there now. So 4 months from now, when all this is going down and he's got to face Savitar again, well, where's Wally? How come Wally's not there or on his way or even addressed at that time, is my question. Now, unless I missed something, what happened?
I didn't think... Well,
did he lose his power? Is he on the other side of town because Savitar basically brought up a complex puzzle for them to solve, and he has to be in one place and Barry has to be in another. Like, what happened?
I don't.
It's just a personal question I have after watching this episode and the last one where he's not around.
Okay. Just to answer the question, there is no release date on the season finale yet. It was really
That's
close,
smart.
actually. Yeah, right. And, like they have only
Up to 12.
Yeah, you're right. Up to 12. Next episode is Dead or Alive. After that is Untouchable. So,
yeah, buddy.
I like that. I don't know about the Wally thing, but the other thing, the Harrison Wells, you made a good point, is we don't actually know which Harrison Wells that is. It could actually be because the Harrison Wells we know so much that is the gun-toting Harrison Wells is Earth 2. So, and if you remember, at the end of one of those particular episodes, Harrison Wells, Earth 2 Harrison Wells had something he wanted to say, but got sucked away that. So,
and it could have been that, hey, I saw what's happening and I have a way to try and stop it. And that's why he's there. But Barry had changed something in the future, so he doesn't get there in time, maybe.
All right, well, I have a better question of the video later, so what?
That, and you remember when the chick came out from
So that was
Portal?
that's my side question.
She's doing this, and you saw that version of him.
Like Lillian? Okay.
And that
Gideon.
That version of Wells is wearing the hat and things. He looks exactly like the one that was on top of the roof with the gun.
Which would be Earth 3 or whatever.
Well, not sure if it's
Earth 3,
the Wells of this time period or a different one, but the one that's in the future that they see that's standing on top of the building is the exact same one that she's looking at.
And say for instance, the other thing we've noticed recently is that hipster Wells, HR, hasn't been doing the whole hat thing recently as well. So there's thoughts about that as well. The Star Labs thing, reopening it, I'm mixed on it because I'm not a big fan of HR at all. Like, I feel like I've given him enough time to
grow on
me, and it's not working for me. But that's also because I've always liked the seriousness that the actor has brought to his Harrison Wells. Even when he was doing Whisper, I always liked the first one. Even though he was always doing this Batman Whisper thing, I was kind of like he's the only one that kind of gave a sense of urgency for everything, and like we need to do this. And Joe's actually has kind of kicked back and has just become like the concerned, proud father, parent of the year type of deal. Iris isn't snooping around anymore, so there hasn't really been anybody in this team.
Amazing.
Unfortunately, I think the most the most serious person in the whole show at this point now has become. I think she's been more of a worry person. Cisco, actually. Cisco has actually...
Cisco's a bit darker.
Right, darker. And Barry has become the worry person at this point right now. Yeah. So, it's a little difficult because I think without any real guidance, mentor, it's a little difficult for Barry for the show to help push Barry, because I think Barry's character has worked the best when he's had some sort of mentor type of figure, either his dad, Joe, or Harrison Wells. And I think none of them are non-existent right now.
Yeah, for me, I think he did better when it was Joe or Wells. Personally, his father was great to be there, but I think he did better with Joe or Wells. It gave him a different dynamic to go against, and his interaction with everyone was better.
What? Okay,
it's not a Barry fault. It's a we're not focusing the writing on that section.
Right, because it's been a family thing and always reminiscing about his family and his mother, or what I actually meant to say is his father, but technically Earth 3 Flash. like
yeah.
those speeches he's given them and such. I was like,
good.
that was some of the best writing on the Flash this season, talking about breaking a cup and all that. The directing on that was really good. So I don't know.
John Wesley Shipp. So
yeah, hey, our buddy out there.
And happy belated birthday. I already sent you a message on Twitter, and thanks for the reply and the like. But seriously, happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So
January.
Last question before we get into the question of the video is, who do we think that person is?
The one that came from
where does she come
the potential future.
Right.
I'd say it's an easy way to tie in from Wells's world.
Yeah.
Because that would be a good way to give a little more spotlight on his character.
I hope so. Yes.
Otherwise,
they gotta redeem him. Like they gotta do something with him. Like
if they make him being undercover and evil, I think it may be a little overkill because it's like every version of Wells has been
evil,
kind of
right?
Bad, but her being evil but tied to him, I could kind of see, and then making the real reason he left was because of her, or she was his partner. So okay, that's fine. It's just, how did she get here?
Right. So you're assuming you're on the same page as me, as she's definitely from the same hipster Earth that.
Yeah, it was the hair stuff.
I did like the turtle though that he gave him, like only because of the contrast. Because of he's the fastest man on the planet, and this is the slowest animal, one of the slowest.
Remember in the previous season, Flash actually did go against someone. That was Turtle.
I remember.
So it's like, oh, that's a nice little homage to that character.
Okay, yeah.
What would be interesting if the girl or the lady that came from the potential future or other Earth is Killer Frost.
Okay. Nah,
that would be interesting, because then it's like playing with us. It's like, well, we thought it was Caitlin, but it's this chick. She could have the same name for all I know, but it could be that chick, and they find a way to cure our Caitlin. I'm okay with that.
Wondering about this. It's funny because this arc with Killer Frost, like, I actually think the actress that's when she plays Killer Frost, that's actually her best work. And like, I'm not really big on the actual Caitlin character, but actually her playing Killer Frost is really more interesting than most of the episodes this season. The best ones have been when Killer Frost is doing her thing.
Same thing with a lot of people with Arrow and Black Canary. They liked her when she was the alternate.
Oh, Black Siren.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they
I agree.
Like it, yeah.
I agree. She came back in that form or fashion. Yeah. We'll find out tomorrow. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the question of the video. So this is the big particular question. Like, I can see you were wanting to get into it during the episode, but I knew it was going to be something that I couldn't resolve in a one-liner type of deal, so I just stayed quiet on it. It was basically this idea of knowing your future and taking the steps to prevent it, or not taking the steps to prevent it. I felt like the episode touched upon it well, but didn't really harp on it enough, like the strongest point that I wanted to. I saw this conversation that Barry had with HR about it, and it was there, and it reminded me so much. My drone. It reminded me so much of that episode where Barry actually first went into the past and was talking to Edward Thawne posing as Harrison Wells, and you saw that connection, and that was such a good conversation they had. Right. But this particular one was kind of come on, man.
It was a watered down version of it.
But it's fine. I mean, it's the HR character. The question of the video for you, and we'll have two-part things, is personally, if you knew your future, would you try to change it? Would you be on...
Now, is this future, let's say the angle of this particular future, is it positive or negative? Because I think you need to give that kind of...
okay, negative.
Context for...
Okay, if you were in Barry's position and there was something personally negative into your future, it also kind of reminds me of the whole idea of the Death Note story, you know, where Mika or any user to Death Note, if they trade, I think 1 year of their life or cut their life in half, they can actually see when the date somebody will die. And I've always thought about that too. Like, damn, I wouldn't actually want to know the day I die, right?
I don't know,
right? So, but or do you want to know so that you can do everything you can to extend your life like that? But it goes back into those two groups that HR was talking about.
Right.
Everything you do leads to that future anyways.
Because you're trying so hard to prevent it, which in turn, you're making it happen.
Right. So, if you knew your future, what side are you on? Are you on team prevent it or team fuck it? Like that's like it's an interesting, it is a conundrum.
So we'll say team prevent it would be team Flash. And team HR would be, it's going to happen no matter what you do.
Right.
So do you side with Wells or Flash? Would you try and prevent it by going in the direction that Flash is going?
Right.
Or would you accept whatever fate is coming by going in the direction of Wells?
It's a difficult situation because...
What would you do?
I don't know, because I think the option of, and it goes back into our debates with Civil War, the option of not doing anything is still an act of doing something. So even you not preventing it is, or even you not doing anything is something that's doing soming.
So you're not necessarily preventing it, you're just prolonging it.
Right.
Kind of.
So, but you trying to prevent it, I'd probably go with team prevention because
Team Flash.
Team Barry, Team Flash, because you got upset at him and you're like,
I was upset with the fact that
nothing.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, you've gone to the future and you've been warned to tell people about what happens in the future, because then you end up making it happen, or you change something else in the time stream. So it made me concerned, him telling Iris, one, on a personal level, you're basically telling her, hey, you've got cancer. You know, that's really hard for someone to deal with, and it's not a laughing matter. And I've had family members that have passed from cancer that I love very much and miss them every day, Sasha. But it's one of those things where it's like, do you tell that person, or do you let that person go every day of their life up until that point, enjoying it and living life to the fullest? And in turn, you try and help prevent those, because we're talking about Flash, you try and help and prevent that situation from happening without directly telling them.
But
because you can make that person compulsive to the point where they feel, I have to do everything I can, and then they don't enjoy the rest of the time they have up until that point.
But though, argumentably, if you catch it early enough and do what can be done, chemotherapy or whatever, you can treat it enough that you can possibly prevent it anyways from happening.
Yeah, but I'm one of those people, I don't want to know when I'm going to die. I'd rather be able to, like, if it's one of those, okay, hey, I was accidentally told, hey, look, you're going to pass at this time.
Right.
I'm afraid I'm going to become compulsive to try and prevent it from happening, which doesn't mean it's a bad thing.
Right.
But it also means I will miss out on other things because I'll be focusing so much here. I forget about loved ones and family members and stuff. You become consumed.
But how often do we think in our life, at times,
mortality?
How often do we think of in our lives and time when we're just like, damn, you know, if I just knew what was going to happen yesterday or today, I could have done this if I just happened to know.
Something light like that, I'm okay with. But dealing with my mortality, I kind of don't want to know.
I don't know. See,
if it's something that could be prevented, okay, I understand why you're telling me, and then maybe there's something that could be done so where I'm not so consumed with that fact that I miss out on other people, because it's actually happened to people I know, and I feel bad for everyone involved. But on the light side, in the Flash universe, being able to prevent it from happening, I think is cool, because, well, realistically, we don't get a second chance.
Right. And the other situation, it's something that I remember Walter White saying at the beginning of Breaking Bad. Like, he stopped doing the cancer treatments after a while because he didn't want to go through chemotherapy in the beginning because he didn't want people to see him like that. Right. And that was also something my grandfather did. Like, he hid his cancer from everybody, even from his own wife. So he was pulling a Barry for the longest time, and he took that shit. He took it to the grave with him, and only told one person. And it wasn't until he was in his final hours that that person was like, he told people in the waiting room, like, okay, you know what, he's had cancer for about 2 or 3 years or something like that. Right. So, but to kind of get what you're, like you were saying, and like what Barry was doing, you were already talking about the fact that
telling someone the future could mess up the timeline.
But telling about it would stress them out, and you would like that person to you would like that person to just live their fullest and what have you not without knowing. But Barry knowing was already messing up his relationship with everybody anyways.
But that's only because for Barry, instead of concentrating on, like he's doing now, how can I prevent these things from happening? It's, I'm having these nightmares and I don't want it to happen. There's nothing I can do. But right after that, he's like, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to do everything I can.
However, in a sense...
So which one is it?
But however, in a sense, it looks like he was. Like, he was... I believe, like, as far as I can tell, it was Chris... Yeah, it's been about the same timeline. Like, it's been about a month or so.
Yeah.
Since because it was Christmas.
Yeah.
So it's been about a month. He's done the best he could for 4 weeks, trying to suppress the, not telling Iris,
when you
just
put it
trying
that
to
way,
play cool.
I'll give you that.
It's not like
it's been since Christmas. All right, I could see that.
And the way I also see it is like, because you kind of mentioned something that I completely forgot, is that Jay, Earth 3 Flash, told Flash not to, like, don't think about it, like, don't tell people about it, like, or as far as I completely forgot all of that, like.
Yeah, because that's one of the key things he told him, because Barry went back to change the timeline to save his mom, and by doing that he changed so many other things.
Right.
But that wasn't the first time that he had changed the timeline, because he tried to save somebody else, which is understandable. I'm not against it. But Wells told him first, and then Earth 3 Flash told him, don't tell people because you're going to change something in the timeline. That's my biggest worry. Him telling Iris, I had mixed feelings, but I'm fine with that. The timeline being changed is what's bugging me. Because it's like, oh, what disaster is coming? Of course, everything can't be peachy clean and perfect the whole time. Otherwise, the show wouldn't be interesting.
Right.
But it's one of those, it's like, all right, what's about to change?
Okay.
And who's about to die?
All right, so given what we know, because I don't really think there really is a clear answer on this one, which makes it
which is why I like the question.
Well, because it's also like,
it's a good question.
Well, I mean, it's also the Batman question, because if Batman had a chance to, or if you could go back and save Thomas and Martha Wayne, what would happen there? We would have no Batman at the same time. I mean, it's an unfair comparison, because it's kind of like, oh well, damn, we know what happens. We get the goddamn Batman, but you know, but I guess
but it's one of those. It's the same thing. You would pick. It's a selfish means. If he could go back and change it, he would, because that's his parents.
Yeah,
almost
who wouldn't? If Superman could go back,
there's maybe 1%. Giddy 2% of the populace that say, no, I wouldn't do that because it would do these things. When hindsight, most people would.
Actually, I wonder about that. I wonder if that's ever been presented in the comics in terms of, with Batman, it has, and he's gone back and he's like, fuck this shit, I'm gonna save my parents. But with Superman, that's actually a more interesting situation. It's like, if Superman had the chance to go back and save his entire planet for some reason, let's just say, because I know there are politics and all that involved in the... Okay, so it has happened. So what happened?
But not necessarily. Well, so you say his planet. I look at it as Earth being his planet, because there's been something that's happened, and he's done that.
No, I'm talking about Krypton.
Krypton.
Because here's the thing.
That actually has happened, because when that happened, he ended up having a full life, so to speak, on Krypton.
No, you're talking about the man who has everything.
No, I'm talking about Godfall.
Oh, okay. That's what Godfall was based on? Okay.
Michael Turner before he passed, unfortunately.
Yes.
Fantastic artist.
Great art.
And I got his last commemorative book. So,
damn. Okay. Yeah. That was one of the best. Actually, that was one of the best alternative Superman comics, costumes I've ever seen.
Yeah, especially next to the bike.
Yeah, very Akira.
That bike was awesome.
But my point is here's an interesting conundrum. Is like, okay, if he saved Krypton, or Krypton was spared or so, he would have never actually gone to Earth, and he would have just grown up like a regular ideally regular person, would Kryptonians have ever gone to Earth at one point in time?
Yeah, it's happened a few times in the stories where it's like they pose that question to Superman. It's like, hey, look,
what
if this happened, would you follow that path instead? He's come across villains that could change time. It's like, you could be here,
right?
And everything would be just the way you want it to. Same thing happens with Supergirl and her parasitic dream. That same type of thing. It's like it's not real. I shouldn't do that because it's not what I really want.
What do you think? Knowing what we know in this episode, it was a bit of a slowish episode or setup. It was a setup. It was a setup episode. Knowing what we know now, do you think that this adds to anything of the prophecy of Savitar?
Possibly yes, because we're looking at someone who shall betray you. Everyone thinks that it's going to be Harrison Wells just because he's got that track record.
One shall fall.
Partially why I think that he may not. I think it might be Joe.
Okay.
My first two choices, unfortunately, and I don't want it to happen because I love Team Flash, Joe or Wally. And the only reason I say Wally more than Joe, because again, when they were in the future, where was he? There was nothing there to say anything about Wally. Joe's name, he was being awarded for something in the future, but there was no mention of Wally or Kid Flash.
Right. Well,
so
I was thinking
One Shall Fall could be.
Well, what did I was actually the way I know HR was like good for you, Joe, but I was like, could he be rewarded? Could he be getting an award post mortality? Yeah, type of thing like Heath Ledger or so, or could he be getting an award for something that the Kid Flash died in doing?
That the Kid Flash died for. So that's another reason why I say him,
very
because he's not mentioned at all. And I told you I don't know if it's bogus or whatever, but there's a few people that were posting online that they were looking for their release date for this episode on IMDb, and then they saw Ramon's profile for Flash and had Savitar there.
Right.
And it was there for maybe 24, 48 hours, and then they took it down. Now, is that a typo or a mistake, or is it actual? I hope it's not. I hope it's a completely different character.
Right. I don't think CW would be that slippery about it, but you never know.
Mistakes happen. Human error.
Or they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
For the long, when there was a plot where the Undertaker had some sort of stalker stalking his wife, and they were using like this.
Yeah, that's not creepy.
Yeah, but they were using like a voice modder and everything, and somebody reworked it, and they could tell it was Vince McMahon's voice. And then, so everybody thought it was Vince McMahon, but he just used his voice to throw people off like that. So, it ended up being DDP, by the way. Anyways, Red Dread Nation, stand up, speak up. Good to be back.
It is. Did you watch Supergirl?
I did not yet.
We'll talk about it tomorrow then. You got to watch it
Supergirl
before tomorrow.
We'll be back for Arrow as well tomorrow.
Diggle!
The Trinity will be back.
Yes!
Gotta make sure.
Tokyo Trinity back on the couch.
Hey.
Long time.
Yeah,
that just didn't come out right.
2 black guys and 1 Asian girl. I love it. Let us know what
France?
Eiffel Tower. There you go. No, Statue of Liberty. That's what it's supposed to be. No, you're right. Sorry, Eiffel Tower. Yep. Hey, high five. Anyway.
Liberate anyway.
Anyways, skewer. Let us know what you think about this, and we will check back with you with The Flash next week.
Keep it super.
Peace.